Did you ask about maybe doing community service as an option?
I know that was the option.
Well, at some courts it is. So maybe you should ask that question so that you can get that cleared up. Doesn't hurt to ask, right? I mean, maybe they tell you no, but if they tell you no, then that's already where you started anyway. So it doesn't.
This case starts calm, then explodes. Welcome to State of Michigan versus Alexis Alexander, where a routine sentencing turns into a full-on reality check. Alexis walks in expecting leniency, but the judge? He's done playing nice. This one's about accountability and watching a defendant realize too late that second chances don't last forever. Stay tuned, because this judge's reaction will leave you speechless.
Okay. All right, let's go on the record in the matter of the State of Michigan versus Alexis Alexander, 25555.
And good morning. For the record, review on behalf of Ms. Alexis Alexander, who's also present. Ma'am, would you state your name for the judge, please? Alexis Alexander.
That comes through, Allie?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And so is Eamon Baydoun present? All right. Today is the date scheduled for sentencing on Ms. Alexander's plea to an amended charge of stalking. The original charge of aggravated stalking was dismissed by way of resolution between counsel. And Ms. Young, do you have an opportunity to review the report and recommendation with your client?
Yes, Your Honor. She and I did review the PSI, and she indicates that there's no additions, corrections, or deletions other than what I'd like to take a look at.
Okay.
And that is, Your Honor, as the court's aware, she's 28 years old. She has no prior felony or misdemeanor convictions. She's a single mother of 2 minor children and is currently pregnant and has a C-section scheduled for January 7th of 2026 for her pregnancy. She has a limited monthly income, so we're asking the court to not impose or to reduce any fines or costs that have to be required to be assessed. And she's also asking the court, she plans to relocate, Your Honor, back to the state of Tennessee where she is from, and that's where her children's father is located. And so she's asking the court to please consider just a 1-year term of probation with all of the conditions that the probation department is recommending, rather than 2-year term of probation, please. And nothing further. Oh, I just the police department, in doing their investigation, seized her Samsung iPhone and her Apple iPhone, and she's asked the court if the court will order that those be returned to her. They did have a search warrant to look at the content, and so we're asking it.
All right. That's something that I'm going to have you discuss with the prosecuting attorney. I don't have any information regarding that as to whether or not it's still being utilized for evidentiary purposes. I don't know that it is because the matter's been resolved. So if there is not an issue with the prosecutor, then the two of you can just submit a stipend order. Okay. And then I will sign that. I have no problem doing that, but I'm not privy to all the information you all are privy to.
Yes, ma'am.
Much to everybody's surprise. So a couple things. Ms. Alexander, I understand that you are currently pregnant, but how are you supporting yourself if you're not working? I mean, you can work, right?
I live with my mom, and I have a car, and I have my children full time.
Ma'am, with all due respect, many people have their children full time and they still work. Have you looked at anything getting work from home?
I mean, I've looked, I've applied, I don't have a resume, I never had a job, I don't even have a resume.
The judge dives straight into her record, no sugarcoating. Missed appearances, broken promises, 0 follow-through. You can hear the disappointment in his tone. It's not rage, it's exhaustion, the kind that comes after seeing too many people waste their chances. Alexis stands there quiet, maybe thinking she can talk her way out, but this judge has heard every excuse in the book.
I had DoorDash and Instacart, but then I had a felony warrant. They did a background check on me. They deactivated my account. I was doing Instacart. I still have an active Instacart, but I have no card. My car got replaced. I just filed bankruptcy in January. Couldn't afford it anymore.
Well, ma'am, I'm not really sure how you are affording anything if you're not working and haven't worked since November, and you're 28 years old. You're 28 years old without any work history. How are you going to support yourself and your children if you don't start somewhere?
Well, right now I'm living with my mom, and their dad went back to Tennessee to get a stable job as above average to be able to support all of us. And that's why eventually when he gets established and gets his own place and not living with his friends, he will be able to move us out there and then we'd be taken care of by him. But right now I'm being taken care of by my mom. And so I can't live with my mom forever with 3 children.
Well, no, nor should she.
Responsibility.
Well, no, and it's not her responsibility to support you as an adult, 28 years old, and your 3 children.
She never had to do that before. It's just what's going on in my life right now. I'm not a lazy person. I just going through a lot emotionally and financially.
All right, the one warrant that it's showing that you have you taken care of that?
They want money from me. I don't have money, and I borrowed I gave them $50 3 times. I borrowed from my mom, but I still owe her back. So, I mean, I could give them another $50 to put a warrant, or if I asked her to borrow more money, but I don't.
Did you ask about maybe doing community service as an option?
I don't know that was the option.
Well, at some courts it is. So maybe you should ask that question so that you can get that cleared up. Doesn't hurt to ask, right? I mean, maybe they tell you no, but if they tell you no, then that's already where you started anyway. So it doesn't.
This isn't Alexis's first trip to court or her second. She's had probation, fines, and warnings. Every time, another chance gone. Judges don't forget broken trust. Probation means prove you can do better. She didn't. And when you break that deal, mercy disappears fast. This is where the tone in the room shifts from disappointment to finality.
So you're not in any worse of a position. All right. So what the court is going to take note of is that the offense date is showing June 1st of 24. And for whatever reason, there was a delay from the prosecuting attorney's office in signing the warrant, and then this matter was brought before the court. The court does not have any information that there's been any continued contact between Ms. Alexander and Mr. Baydoun. However, Ms. Alexander, the behavior that is alleged is quite concerning. Okay. And so, based upon the limited information I have from you, I'm hoping that some of the conditions that this court's going to put forth in your probation terms are going to be helpful to you, because it appears as though you have a hard time being told no or having a response other than what you want that response to be. And I'm certainly hoping that that's going to change moving forward.
This is the first time something like this has happened to me, and I don't do this on a regular. You can't find a history of me doing this. It's just I got involved with the relationship, and then it affected my entire life after that. And I never wanted to step into that situation anyways. So it's just like I made a bad decision, and to just have that one person having so much control over my life. I mean, the reason why I don't have a place now is because my credit got screwed. You know what I'm saying? I lost my condo, my car, everything. That I couldn't pay my bills.
The judge's voice stays calm, but the edge cuts deep. You've had opportunity after opportunity, he says, and that line stings. You can see Alexis bracing for a lighter outcome, but that hope fades quick. In this courtroom, words mean nothing if your actions don't back them up. The message? Enough is enough.
Couldn't pay my phone bill, like everything just started falling apart. So it was just really getting to me that one person was the cause of all of that, and he didn't care.
Judge, she was operating a business and met him, and he was supplying inventory for her business. He then stopped, and that's what caused the dilemma. And
well, what happened was he started, because we were in a relationship sexually or whatever, he started raising prices on me. If I didn't show up, he would not hold his money. It's just petty activity that was happening once we got involved. And I held it in for a while, but then I just walked away. And then when I walked away, my entire life fell apart. So it's like I needed this person, but at the same time, I was involved with a person I shouldn't have been involved with. And it's just stupid. It's really stupid.
Okay.
So it's not like I'm just a crazy person that just attacks everyone. Because
No, I'm not suggesting that you are, ma'am. I'm not suggesting that you are.
It's just like I literally couldn't do anything, and I was just really like upset because my entire life was falling apart. I have 2 children. At the time, I had a 1-year-old still dealing with postpartum depression. So it's like,
I understand.
it was a lot.
Okay.
I never fell off that before in my life.
Okay.
I've always been good on standing strong or on supporting myself. So
All right. So hopefully after the birth of this child, you'll be able to recognize your postpartum symptoms if you end up having postpartum with this one. And then you can kind of, now that you've experienced that, you can kind of see some of those triggers or symptoms or whatnot beforehand.
yeah, this is just the first episode. And it's the last. I don't want to put myself in this situation ever again.
Okay. All right. All right. After hearing from counsel, hearing from Ms. Alexander, reviewing the report, the recommendation, the lack of criminal history, the court does find that there's reasonable grounds to depart MCL 769.5. The court's going to also note that it does find that the following sentence is the best interest of justice. It's reasonable in proportion to the seriousness of the matter, taking into account the circumstances surrounding Ms. Alexander and the legislative guidelines. The court's going to order 12 months probation. You're not eligible for early discharge.
The moment of truth hits, sentencing. Alexis freezes. You can see it in her face. She thought this would go differently. Judges don't punish emotion, they punish patterns. And her pattern screamed, no accountability. This wasn't cruelty, it was consequence. When chances run out, reality walks in.
You are not to violate any criminal law of any unit of government. You're not to leave the state without the consent of this court. If everything is ready to go for you to move to Tennessee while you're still on probation, you can certainly request to be able to relocate out of state.
One other question. The dad can't come back because he has issues here. So would I be able to fly to Tennessee and bring my daughter to Tennessee so we can see her in January? Because that was part of our plan.
Are you new in January?
Yeah, I was gonna fly to Tennessee so he can meet his daughter because he can't come here.
You're talking about the child that's currently.
Yeah, the child that I'm in with is
Okay, so you're due in January, and then you want to immediately fly down to Tennessee?
not immediately, but like sometime in January or like in February.
Okay.
No,
So we'll address it closer to, as long as there aren't any violations, then there shouldn't be an issue. But you have to still submit all that request and information in writing to your probation officer. Okay? All right, you are to report truthfully to probation officers as often as the probation officer may require. In person, in writing, or virtually, you are to notify your probation officer immediately of any change in address or employment status. You are to obtain a psychiatric evaluation and attend any treatment if recommended. The rehabilitative goal for that condition is to help you determine what your mental health needs are and to assist you in obtaining management and coping strategies. Ma'am, if you go for an evaluation and it's determined that you don't need any further assistance, then that's it. Okay. And if you're there, you just come in here. You're not going to be in contact with anyone they do. That's phone contact, text message, email, social media, anything of the like. Rehabilitative goal for that condition is to help you in not repeating this offense. You are not to have any weapons or firearms. The rehabilitative goal for that condition is to ensure that you are not reoffending and to ensure the safety of Mr. Bidune. The court will also order 8 weeks anger management class. The rehabilitative goal for that condition is so that you can further learn how to express your feelings and needs.
Alexis tries to defend herself. I didn't know. I thought it was fine. But the judge doesn't budge. These aren't new excuses, they're recycled ones. Judges aren't blind, they're tired of seeing potential wasted. Sympathy fades fast when someone's had every opportunity to do better.
In a more appropriate manner and to prepare you for upsetting situations, which, based upon what you've stated, I can understand was an upsetting situation. Okay? All right. Any questions regarding those conditions?
No.
All right. The court's going to order a $300 fine, $100 screening assessment fee, $600 supervision oversight fee, $300 cost of prosecution, crime victim assessment fee of $75, justice system assessment fee of $50. So the total is $1,425. Ma'am, I'm going to just indicate you can set up a payment plan of what you think that you can do, whether you're able to still Instacart or something of that nature, even if you're doing $20 a month. Okay. You're obviously not going to have it paid off before you're discharged from probation, but as long as you're making a good faith effort, there won't be any violation. Okay. I mean, it can literally be $20 a month. Okay. What's that?
Okay, that's okay. I already have that set up with Taylor.
Okay. And like you said, you still have your Instacart account, so you can still do that type of work.
I have to buy it one first, but
Oh, that's right. You don't have the car. Okay. So let's see what this looks like in February. All right. So you don't have to worry about making a payment until February. And then February, you can work with your probation officer regarding what a payment plan could look like. Okay. All right. Because then you'll know kind of where things are at with Tennessee and whatnot. Okay. All right. Any questions?
And Judge, can we just pass on this matter while I talk to the prosecutor and see if you agree to consent to entry of the order for the phones?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Ms. Young, are you ready for me to recall Ms. Alexander?
Yes, Your Honor, please.
Okay. Yes.
With the proposed order.
Yes, you may. And Mr. Mohammed here.
He would not sign it as a stipulation, but he said he'll come in and put on the record no objection. Thank you.
Well, then what's the difference?
There is no difference, but that's his position.
Are you grabbing Mr. Mohammed?
Yes, I am.
Okay, very good. All right. Good morning, Mr. Mohammed.
Good morning.
And we are on the record in the matter of the state of Michigan versus Alexis Alexander, 25555.
The judge spells it out. You knew the conditions. That's it. The line that ends the debate. No yelling, no anger, just a cold, clear reminder of choices made. Alexis finally looks down, realizing this is on her. Justice isn't emotional, it's earned.
And appearance for the people, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Mohammed on behalf of the people.
And Rita Young appearing on behalf of Alexis Alexander.
All right, very good. Thank you. And so this is regarding the return of 2 phones, correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
All right. So, Mr. Mohammed, during sentencing or prior to sentencing beginning, Ms. Young requested the return of Ms. Alexander's 2 phones. I believe there's an iPhone and a Samsung, an Android. Go Android. Anyway, so the request was for those phones to be returned. And since I don't have as much information as the 2 of you have, I don't know whether or not those are the use for investigation purposes is ceased, completed. I don't know that. So that's why I'd asked Ms. Young to speak with you. And if there is a stipulation to return those phones, then the court would sign an order.
Yes, so Judge, I'm unable to stipulate to that for the very reasons the court has already acknowledged. It could be that there's still an open investigation. I don't know. That's something that I'll need an opportunity to consult with the officer in charge about. So I would request an adjournment. However, at this time, I'm not going to object, so there's no objection. But I'm not able to stipulate without consulting with the officer in charge to ensure that there isn't any active cases that are still being pursued.
Okay. So do you want to give them a quick call and then we can complete this matter so everybody doesn't have to come back?
Well, Judge, I'll need to email him. I don't know if I have that specific officer's phone number. And there is a office full of people. There's like 15 people.
Okay. And Detective Sergeant Herrick isn't present in the building?
He's not in my office. I don't know if his department is connected to this or I'm not sure.
What do you mean connected to this court?
So I know there's a specific police department that's
All right.
connected.
Why not police department is, but not Riverview?
Is he Riverview?
Yes.
Okay.
He's Riverview. So I don't know if there's anybody here with Riverview right now.
No, I don't know.
Judge, given the fact that this is related to an individual and it was just text messages and the case, she's been sentenced, and the prosecutor has no objection to entry of the order. Can't we just write in the order and the prosecutor does not object to entry of the order? And of course, if they're pursuing some other case or matter that could continue, but this would be related to her phones.
The court moves to a smaller issue, returning her phones. Seems simple but symbolic. She's lost freedom, but still asks for control. The judge grants it, staying firm. It's a reminder, even when the case ends, the system plays by the rules. Fairness doesn't stop with the verdict.
Well, so I don't know. I don't know that. right? I don't know that information. And so you made an oral motion. And so my position was if the people, based on whatever information they have, because I have the least amount of information, and if there was an agreement, that I would sign an order if there was a stipulation, an agreement to the return. Council's indicated he can't stipulate to that right now because he hasn't spoken to the sergeant in charge on the matter. So how about that?
No objection to entry of court is my understanding.
Well, I'm hearing two things. I'm hearing that he can't sign the order because he hasn't spoken to the officer in charge, but then he doesn't have an objection to the court entering the order.
Well-
But I will state that I don't have enough information so I can sign the order right now because I don't know the status of those devices. So let's do this. Council, speak to Sergeant Herrick if there's, I'm not saying you have to do it right this moment because I know there's a lot going on today. There's an extremely a large amount of items on the docket. So within the next week, if you speak to the detective and then you are agreeing to sign the stipulated order, then you can both submit that and I'll sign it. If not, council, you want to file a motion for the return of the items, then we can do a hearing on it.
Very well.
And I'll have an answer for defense counsel by tomorrow.
Okay.
So Judge, did you want me to retrieve that order for now?
I will give this back to you. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Mohammed, I'll do this formal hearing of one real quick since you're in here. Okay. All right. Thank you.
And just like that, it's done. The sentence stands, and Alexis walks out, another hard lesson stamped in the record. The takeaway? The justice system gives chances, but it won't beg you to take them. What do you think? Was the judge too harsh or fair to the letter of the law? Drop your thoughts below, hit like, and subscribe for more courtroom breakdowns that show the truth, raw and unfiltered.